AutoCAD, load it up first time, and typically how I start out is grab one of our templates. It depends, are we going imperial or are we going to go metric? And for this assignment, we're going to go on metric, so we're going to click on that. Starting us out, once it's loaded up, we'll notice we've got our Y and our X. It's built off the coordinate system. It's a graph. We got our 0, 0 point is right there in the center. Before we get to that, we'll talk about units. Okay, so we already set up, we said we were on metric, but we're going to double check our units by typing in units. I type a lot in this program. Oh, I forgot to turn on my show off, and you can see my keystrokes as we're going. So I typed in units. You could find all these tools up top here and on all the menus, but if you really want to navigate AutoCAD, you type units. And we've got millimeters, and we're good to go. And we can make adjustments here if we need to on precision. How do we want this to turn out? So I'm going to say OK for that. So we got our units are set. Another tool I always like to double check and run is my OSNAP. It stands for Object Snap. Object Snap. So this is for when we've got a line and where do we want to connect on the line? The endpoints, the midpoint, or on a perpendicular point? Or do we have a circle? Do we want to be on the quadrants? Do we want to be on the tangent of it? And so we can check those. And the default is different than this. This is what I like to run with. And we can get to the other ones if we needed nearest. I think is the worst one. You would just type in NEA in the middle of making a line and we can do it. So I'm going to go ahead and push OK because my OSNAP is good. But before I do that, let's take note. Object Snap is running right there. And I already adjusted this. So I got my command line is the other thing we need to pay attention to quite a bit in this program. It's the last things that I've done, I've run. And it sometimes will help you run tools. So I've got my command line bar here, and I like to attach that down because then I have the option to make it bigger and I can see more of the last things that I've done. So we've got our OSNAP set, and to see it go on and off, the shortcut was F3. So you can see I just turned it off. F3, it's on. Okay, whether I want to attach to lines or not. Let's draw our first lines. So we've got all the menus up here, but if you want to be efficient in AutoCAD, you want to use the keyboard. Line, L, line. It's the first one, so I'm going to push enter. This specifies where do you want to draw the first one. And I'm going to put it at the 0 point, so I'm going to go 0, 0 coordinates, enter, and we are good to go. It's attached to the center point. Right now I pay attention to the line that I've got, and I'm going to do something on purpose, but you'll notice I'm at like 642. We're only going to make a line that goes over 3 and then up 4. So I'm going to go 3, 4. Enter. It doesn't look like it did anything, but it did. My favorite two keys on this, I've used them a couple times, spacebar and then escape. So I'm done with this tool for now. I'm going to push escape. Doesn't look like I did anything. The problem was the scale. I drew it, but it was really tiny, and it's down there. It's just we can't see it. So I use this, and sometimes people zoom and lose their spot, and they don't know what's going on. So we want to zoom. So Z, and then space bar, and then I can push one of these down here. So I've got all center dynamic extents is the one I like. So I'm going to push E and then enter. And that zooms me to my objects that I've drawn in case I zoomed way out and lost everything. So Z, enter, E, enter, and you can zoom to your object. So next I've got polar coordinates that I can do. And so I'm going to draw another line. And I could type 0, 0, or I could take a look at my object snap. So if I hover right there, you can see that I've got my rectangle showing up. If I move over here, I've got my midpoint showing up, and then I've got my endpoint. So let's go from the starting point again. Okay, and I'm going, we're going to go 3, and this time we're going to go at a certain angle. Okay, so you can see it's popping up there. I could push tab, and I'll jump over there. So 3 at what angle? So I push tab, and now I'm at a 15-degree angle. Okay, so you can jump between those two values and specify. So now I've got another one. Let's just test out another one. Let's go 4, tab. Let's go down 15 degrees. Okay, so we can type those in and use the tab key to get in between. 3 at a 60. Okay, so we're good to go there. And we can also type those in if I'm at the end point, I could go 3 and then use shift comma rather than tab, and that puts in the angle, and then let's go at a 0. Okay, in polar coordinates, if I'm going straight up, 3 at a 90. If I want to go to the left, I gotta go 3 at a 180, or, and then to finish it, I go 3 at a 270 to go straight down. So our polar coordinates, we're always to my right would be 0, to my left 180, 270, and 90. Okay, so it just works off of those. So the next thing to take a look at, I just did, is and I got a bunch of things selected. I don't want them selected. Popular key, escape. I push it all the time. So I could just click on lines, right, to select them. Okay, or there's several ways to select. I can click once. We're not click and holding right now. And I've got a blue box. And you'll notice as I drag it, nothing's selected right now. Now that top line is. Okay. Now just the left line, it's only selecting what is totally inside of the box, inside of the blue box. That's why I have different ones. Okay. Notice if I click from the right and move the box, it is green and dashed. And as soon as it touches, it'll select it. Okay. So depending on what you're trying to select, maybe a blue box is better, or maybe a green box. Push escape to deselect. You can also click and hold, okay? And this is just gonna select what's inside of the box, but I can draw a shape. Same thing with over coming from the left side, okay? I can, anytime I touch it, it's going to make a new selection anytime that line gets on there. So escape. So those are different ways to select. It depends if you click, or you click and hold, or you click from the left side and then go right, or click from the right side and go left. Okay, so those are different ways to select things. And that is our first intro. Great job. We'll catch you on the next one. So yeah.